What is up, guys? My name is Jonathan Reich. I'm a licensed CPA in the state of Louisiana, and as a licensed CPA, I typically help small businesses do everything under the sun. I never know what's going to come across my desk, whether it be personal finance, tax, business ops, how can I save money using different softwares, save time, make my life easier, whatever. And so I think that makes me a really good candidate to talk about something that I think, if you're watching this video, you probably just ran into, which is, what do I do if Stripe has frozen my account? Well, fear not, guys, because honestly, it happens. Like it's probably nothing you did. Stripe just, they have to watch their own back before they can look out for others. So it's pretty common. Like, don't fret, don't panic, don't freak out just because you think you're about to miss payroll or you think you're about to miss funding, like an inventory obligation or rent or something like that. We can get through it. Let's walk through what you need to do. Jump right in. We'll talk about why it happens, and we'll talk about how to prevent it from happening in the future. So step one, check the Stripe dashboard, okay? If you're in Stripe, if they didn't send you an email, if you haven't looked at the dashboard, well, you don't know what you're working with. You don't know what's wrong. So typically, if you go and look for notices on the dashboard, there'll be things like verifications, disputes, restricted business review, stuff like that. That's going to basically tell you, hey, we froze your account because you didn't send us a piece of paperwork. We've been asking for the paperwork for a month. You didn't send it to us. So now we have to act. Well, send them the paperwork. Unfreeze your account. Send them the address verification. It's not a big deal. Okay, so now that you know, hey, this is why my account was frozen, you need to figure out whether it's a true freeze for whatever reason, if it's a reserve, or maybe it's a verification policy. So if it's a reserve, the money's still yours, but part of it's being held back to cover like future refunds or disputes. And they may do that if they see an uptick in, chargebacks, for instance. If the issue is verification, send over the paperwork like I just talked about. If the issue is maybe it's a negative balance, they may hold some funds in place until Stripe clears the balance, it recovers, or there's a withdrawal or something like that that has put you over and that needs to be rectified. So now you don't have to go back and forth and argue with Stripe. So go ahead and get everything compiled. Now we need to send it all over. Make sure everything is super thorough. As a CPA, I love paperwork. I love crossing the T's and dotting the I's. They're going to ask for something. You can either email support or maybe do it right within the dashboard. So you need to have everything that they're asking for in one email. Don't be like, here you go, here you go, here you go, here you go. Send it to them all at once. Get it fixed all at once. So things that they may be asking for are going to be business formation docs. That's called a SS4, CP575, CP575A is what that's typically referred to. EIN proof, tax registration proof, government ID for owners, bank statements, processing history, invoices, and proof of delivery. What's your refund policy? What's your terms of service? And then most importantly, an explanation letter of why things have changed, what flagged the freeze according to the dashboard. Then Stripe likes to see things like consistency. If your website's a mess, if you've got conflicting refund policies, conflicting shipping delays, if they think you're a risk, they're going to freeze your account. Because if you have a ton of chargebacks or you're committing fraud or something like that, Stripe wants to make sure that they're not going to be on the hook for that. And so they're going to freeze your account. So you need to be consistent, make sure everything is, you have like a clear legal business name across like your paperwork, your website, your email signature. I mean, just things like that. You want to make sure you have a real phone and email. Everything's crystal clear, like that refund and shipping policy, what your delivery timelines are, your product descriptions, what type of response you have, everything. Make sure everything is unified, clear. There's no reason for Stripe to say these people might be vagrants. Maybe they'll turn coat and we'll get left holding the bag, because ultimately that's what they're trying to prevent. Now we need to make a risk profile. If Stripe says your chargebacks or your disputes are kind of high, anything over really 0.75%, but even 1% is really high, give them a report. Show them, hey, that's not necessarily the case. Show them what your monthly sales volume is, your average tickets, your refund rate, your dispute count, dispute rate, what your delivery time is, what you typically sell. Basically, you're trying to create a story to Stripe that says, hey, I'm low risk, I'm stable, I'm a good upstanding business owner. I want to make sure that I can prove it with clean numbers. And then when you do reach out and you send all this information over to them, give them a case to work with you. You don't want to just say, hey, why'd you guys freeze my account, and ask questions and start pointing fingers. Give them a case that they can build off of that says, hey, here's why you should unfreeze my account. don't just go complain. You're not going to accomplish anything. You're going to be talking to a brick wall. It's going to be very frustrating for you. It's going to be very frustrating for the level 1 support you're getting. You know, some dude who doesn't have the power to fix anything, he can only go from step 1 to step 2. Give them something to work with. Don't just start saying, well, you guys have just ruined my day, you know? And then after that, once you've kind of figured out why your account is frozen, how long it's going to be frozen, now we need to talk about, hey, how do I keep the business running? So the next thing is you need to figure out how you can build a cash bridge. So for instance, maybe you need to slow down your discretionary spending. Maybe you've been doing a ton of advertising. Maybe you need to slow down payroll. Maybe you need to not take a paycheck for yourself. If you have a backup processor, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, maybe you route sales to the backup processor. Talk to suppliers. Let them know what's going on. Hey guys, I'm unable to take cards and revenue right now. You know, I might be 5, 7, 10 days late on this month's remittance. No big deal. And then basically preserve any cash that you can until you can get your revenue back where it needs to be. So that's going to be the most straightforward way to ensure that you're protecting yourself and you're protecting your customers. So let's talk about some of those things that we can actually do right now. Because if you're watching this, your account's probably frozen. I've told you what to do. How do we get over the long term? So I'm going to shrink myself down to the bottom right hand corner. We'll talk about some alternatives to Stripe real quick, stuff that you can use to basically get that backup processing in place and what their pros and cons are. All right, guys, I'm here in the bottom right hand corner now. So let's talk about some of the alternatives to Stripe that you can use to like build that cash bridge. So if you've got a backup processor already in place, maybe you're not pushing a lot of volume through them because you're primarily using Stripe, you can immediately turn around and say, hey, I want to go ahead and start pushing sales over here, connect your portal, and then away you go to start processing those credit card transactions. There are a couple out there. Most of them you've probably heard of. The one I want to talk about before I get to the other 2 or 3 is Luqra. So I like them because they're less likely to freeze your account. So Luqra is a little bit newer in the card processing game. They haven't been around since 2000 like PayPal has. But basically their whole shtick is we're going to do our underwriting up front. We're going to know about your business. We're going to understand what you're doing, what you're selling, who you are. We're going to give you a dedicated customer support representative. And basically, you know, if you say, hey, there's a volume spike coming, or hey, maybe I've got some more chargebacks this month, here's why, keep them in the loop. There's a less likely chance that you're going to get your account frozen. And then they also have the benefits of, well, they advertise really, really cheap rates. You get your money quickly. And then you can also have, and this is important, especially in this instance, 24/7 support that's US based. So overall, very good package there. But the problem is, if you're watching this video and you just now had your account frozen, it might take a little bit of time to get one of these alternative processors set up. So if you're watching this video proactively, go ahead and do your homework. At least get a secondary processor. If you're all in on Stripe and you're like, hey, I don't want to have to worry about this, you're leaving yourself open to like a risk compliance factor that just doesn't make sense. Like risk management, if all your money is coming in from one place, it's a real business risk. And as a CPA, like that's a pretty big deal. You want to make sure that you're not like leaving yourself open to these scenarios to where you may have to shut the doors because you can't pay payroll, or you can't pay your warehouse mortgage or lease or rent or your inventory. So go ahead and think about that. But if you're already watching this because it's frozen, well, we can talk about maybe Square. Square can get you set up pretty quickly. That's one of the draws to it. Square has decent pricing. It's not the best pricing. In fact, they're actually one of the higher priced folks on the list, and I'll talk about why. But if you're doing online sales, 2.9% plus 30 cents, or 3.3% if you're just doing the free plan. So overall, they get you set up quickly, but they're not going to have the best pricing. But if you're in a panic, and it might be 3 weeks before your funds are unfrozen with Stripe, well, they can work in a pinch for you. And so that's always, they have that benefit of speed. They may not be as well priced or have as good support as Luqra or have the rates that Luqra does, but it can get you back on track at least so you can start taking those credit card payments pretty much immediately. The last one I want to talk about is Helcim. I like these folks because they are the cheapest of the alternatives that I've offered, aside from the meet or beat rate guarantee that Luqra has. So they're cheaper than Stripe, typically, if you're doing a good amount of volume. You can see how this scales here as we start moving this slider. This is your monthly volume, 1.58% plus 6 cents. Really, really difficult to beat that. However, Luqra does offer that meter beat rate guarantee. So if you're looking at Stripe, if you're looking at Square, if you're looking at Helcim, Helcim's gonna have the cheapest price for sure. But once again, Helcim has the drawback of it's going to take a little bit of time to get set up. It's going to take a little bit of time to go online. So you need to do this before you get your funds frozen, before you find yourself in a predicament. And that is why I'm harping on it makes a lot more sense to go ahead and do this right now as opposed to waiting, having your account frozen and not having a backup processor. So anyway, guys, I've given you some alternatives. I've given you the know-how. You need to go and see why you were frozen, give them everything that they want, show them that you're a stable business, you've got good chargeback rates, and then most importantly, the final step is, if this is your first time having it happen, it could be a good learning experience. Go ahead and set up an alternative processor. I've mentioned the pros and cons of each of these. Make your own decision. And then make sure you got a backup plan. If you're not gonna switch from Stripe after this debacle, at least please have a backup processor. So if it ever happens again, you don't find yourself in the same situation where you're panicking and you're green because you're about to run out of money and you have to pay your employees. So anyway, guys, hope this video helps. Hope it prevents it next time. Hope you learned something. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.